Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the biggest party in Zwift. It is Tour de Zwift. This is the long route, the Royal Pump Room 8. And here's the course profile. Usually I think the Zwift Insider one is pretty intimidating because it's just so like squish and in this case so jagged. But look at Velo Viewer, man. It looks way more intimidating actually. So some of these hills, it's just hill after hill after hill. The good news is there's a lot of rest periods in between, even super tuck opportunities. I want to point out this is probably the biggest group I've ever ridden with, 411 riders. Here at the start, and I'm in like the top 60, top 50 with them. So I really want to push myself, really want to be in this front group. I did a lot of course recon on this route, saw some other YouTubers posting their videos, and it's like, okay, about 45 minutes, give or take. Probably take a couple more minutes for myself, honestly, but I'm definitely shooting to be like under 48 minutes. I think I can do it, so I'm really pushing myself. They got this double draft thing going on. Not a huge fan of the kits, to be honest. I do like the gray shorts; those are cool, and I'm a big fan of the backwards hat. Other than that, I don't really care. Hey, speaking of, look at my new setup. I got some like lights going on. This race is at 9 p.m., so it's super dark outside. Needed some light. I got these lights for Christmas actually from my brother-in-law. So I set them up. I'm not very good with like tech kind of stuff, let alone lighting. So let me know what you think down in the comments below. So nonetheless, I am in this group. I'm in the front 50 here out of 400 plus. So feeling pretty good about that. But at a minute 7, I'm like, okay, I think I need to let this ship sail and find someone who I can actually like ride with and not absolutely obliterate myself like I did in my previous video, which was just on Saturday. I'm trying to not do that again. So around this point, I kind of let them go, and I get picked up by this group for a little bit, anyways. And they're more like A group stragglers, Cat A stragglers who are catching up. And I was like, you know what? That's probably still not who I'm really looking to be with. Looking at the standings, I got a few seconds behind me is another group. But look at the mini map. You got a big old train of guys. You got a gap, and you got another presumably big train of guys as well, riders. So I'm just doing what I can. I don't want to just like stop and let them catch up. I want to, keep going and then have them come and catch me and then just swallow me up in a big old group, ideally, and I'll just be in this double draft that Tour de Zwift has going on. And it takes a minute or so for that to happen, so let's skip ahead. Oh, here we go. Look at this. I'm like, okay, this was actually really encouraging for me. Going up these hills, down these hills, all around. And I'm like, okay, like I'm feeling pretty good with these guys. Like we're definitely moving, that's for sure. We're making really good time going up the hill. I got an opportunity to super tuck with them. Some people are like, oh, you shouldn't super tuck because it's the double draft. It doesn't do anything. Well, I don't care because I need like a little bit of rest after some of these pretty spiky hills. So some of them spike up to 5%. It's like probably average for them, but some of them get much more than 5%. We'll say that. So yeah, we're just cruising along. Dude, I'm feeling really good. Do a slight dig, but other than that, like, I'm in with this group. The ups, the downs, it's going really well. And look at my power profile, especially in comparison. If you watched my previous video, it's very consistent. And I was very appreciative of that because my other one was just not at all consistent, and I absolutely destroyed myself. So even going up this hill right here, like I felt really good about it because it's just pretty consistent power. I'm not surging crazy and then just yo-yoing all the way to the front, hanging off the back for a couple seconds, and then just blowing myself up trying to catch back on, end up surging up towards the front. Like, it's pretty consistent right here, actually. I was very pleased with that. It wasn't, outrageous power. It wasn't record-breaking for myself or anything like that, but that's okay. I'm just trying to race smarter and race a lot smoother and ultimately a lot better. Also, in my recon, there's a ton of banners because there's a ton of like climb KOM kind of things. So I'm using power-ups. That's good. I mean, it's not exactly the best placement necessarily. Not that, using an arrow power-up on a steep, long climb like that is good, but, I'm not saving it till the very end of the race either. Hint, hint. Yeah, super tuck and just have like a nice little time to recover and basically do it all over again. So again, hanging in like top 65 out of 400, man, that's a win. I'll take that. So I'm thinking, okay, like, if I play my cards right, I could probably finish with these guys, maybe even get like inside of 60. Like that would be huge. That would be awesome. So again, right there, I just use that drafting boost just before the banner just to get the next power up, an arrow boost. That's great, whatever. Would prefer a feather of sorts, but the Zwift algorithm does not bless me with one. So again, look at that heart rate, 159. Wow. Impressive, actually. I'm actually super pleased with that. I did remember to open up the window. If you know, you know. And then here I kind of start to get dropped a little bit. Use the arrow boost. I'm right back in with everybody. And then we have this huge, like super steep pitch. And then it kind of levels out a little bit, 4 or 5%. I have this video sped up on 4x. So this is 4 times as fast. So some of these points in the video, it's like, wow, we're like barely moving at all. Well, you slow it down 4 times. Yeah, that's what happens. These climbs just felt super long. Granted, 7%, 6%, yeah, they just are super long. And so it starts to get kind of strung out a little bit. I'm kind of dangling off the back. We're about 2/3 into this race. Still got another 5.5 miles to go. It's like, no, Eric, I know there's going to be another like recovery portion up here. So I kick it up another gear just to try to stay with everybody and then like coast downhill. So I'm kind of straggling off the back, but I have a group in my sight still. They're not crazy far ahead, and close the gap with the super tuck. And most importantly, I have that time of recovery as well, which for me was super important. And because look, here it goes again. The group is just getting smaller and smaller and smaller, but these climbs just keep coming. And it's like now 7-8%. Okay, we gotta really fight to stay in with the last 3, 4, 5 guys, however many there even are. In this case, 3, and even then, it's really spacing out all the more. So, really had to put in some digs. And as you can see, I'm just putting my forehead on the bars. Like, when I put my forehead on the bar, like I'm hurting pretty good. So, definitely waiting for this one to be over. And at this point, kind of a bummer. They get to the crest before I do, and I'm just behind them just a little bit on this -3%. I cannot close it. We skip ahead a minute. It shoots up to 15, even 20% at one point. I'm right back with this group. I feel great about that. I do this, I get up a couple times. Now I'm like surging a little bit. I'm trying to put in some digs. I catch up, I even pass them, and then I just crack. I was like, okay, kind of done with this. And again, look, this is sped up 4 times, and it just looks like I'm going nowhere. So in real time, it was absolutely brutal. But hey, man, that's what makes Tour de Zwift so fun, because it's only, this thing wasn't but 20 miles or so, and 38 minutes. So I'm like, okay, I have just under 3 miles. I'm really trying to hit that 45-ish minute mark, 47-ish. But here I am, I'm alone. It's like, okay, I'm going to finish this race alone. The guy ahead of me is 7 seconds. I put my head down. I just do like a time trial effort, trying to keep it around 3.5 to 4.0 watts per kilo. And I do for a time. I look up every couple of seconds, and the guy in front of me is just getting further and further ahead. I'm trying so hard to match his numbers, his watts per kilo, and I was kinda, and then it was so deflating to look up and see he was that much further ahead. So now he's like 23 seconds ahead of me, and the guy behind me is closing that gap. So it's like, okay, I'm in 65th. Like, that's like an ideal number. It's not, the top 50. It's, still in the top 60, I suppose, but or top 70, I should say. So it's like, okay, hopefully this is the last climb. About a mile and a half left. This guy comes flying around me like it's on flat ground or something. Well, I guess by the time he does, it is flat ground. And then it's downhill, and I cannot catch him. Look at this. He's doing this big effort, and he's not big effort, 3.0 plus watts per kilo. I try to match it. I just can't. I got nothing left. So I look back. The guy behind me is 26 seconds behind me. Clock is ticking up to 45 minutes. Still half a mile left. I'm not going to close the gap in front of me. I'm kind of trying. I'm pushing. He's got 8 seconds. I can't even quite tell what that says. Nope, he's going to beat me. No chance in catching him. No one behind me. Roll in. 45 minutes, 33 seconds. Check this out. 54th place out of well over 200 people on Zwift Power. So, I mean, I'll take it. Guys, thank you so very much for watching. I will see you in the next one.